All right, welcome everyone to the PondCast where we talk about hockey. Today we're going to be talking about Draisaitl and his 100 points that he hit, I believe, yesterday. So, who wants to start us off with their thoughts?
That took Ethan 3 times to say.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like take 3.
All right. Enough of this. All right, it's the first podcast. So, who wants to start us off with this? Do you guys think Draisaitl is going to win the Hart? Do you think he's an automatic favorite for to win it?
I mean,
Uh,
like we see this trend in the Hart voting where it's like most points, and like I don't know. There's a certain thing where it's like I don't know what it is with Draisaitl, but people just don't consider him in that category even after this year. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, he's always been like sort of in McDavid's shadow, it feels like, even though he has more points than him this year and like even played well while McDavid was hurt. It's kind of like it's almost like Draisaitl isn't going to get the Hart because he also has McDavid on his team, which is why I think I would still say Pasternak or Panarin are the favorites to win it. I'd actually probably lean more towards Panarin just because, he took a team that was like so bad last year, didn't change that much in terms of the roster, and now they're contending for a playoff spot. So I would personally think Panarin for Hart.
Yeah, I agree. Panarin for Hart. Draisaitl sucks.
wow.
No. He puts up points, but defensively he's awful. Like really bad.
He doesn't just put up points.
Than the next guy. 11 points than the next.
Yeah, dude. He puts up
points, but like he also, I mean, I think he's a great player. Like definitely top. Like I don't know.
I think it's similar to last year though with Kucherov, because he played on an amazing team. Obviously, Tampa Bay, one of the best records in like the past few decades. So, and he won the Hart. So, you think Draisaitl?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't trust the voting, man. Like,
that's
like true. I don't respect that.
I think if the Rangers make the playoffs, though, I think Panarin's gonna win it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
Panarin as well.
Like,
I actually think, honestly, I think it's gonna be McKinnon because he kind of got snubbed last year, which oh no, he got snubbed in the Taylor Hall year.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, so like the guy's good enough that he's gonna win a Hart Trophy eventually. But what Aiden said, like how the Draisaitl's like second fiddle, that's like Malkin and Crosby, and that's like
for sure. I think Draisaitl is like for sure a lock for Art Ross. I'd say I don't think anyone's catching Draisaitl, but the Hart, it's like I'd say it's like pretty close between a lot of different players for the Hart, but like that actually. I've been thinking, do you guys think that Edmonton has a chance of actually doing something like meaningful in the playoffs this year? Now that, the teams looks like they're going to make the playoffs potentially for the first time in a few seasons. Is it just a first round exit, or do you think there's a chance they could make it far?
First round exit.
I think it depends who they play. Depends who they play in the first round. Their depth is pretty insane, though.
Edmonton?
Like with Kaylor Yamamoto,
they're
top two.
Harden?
Look at their top two. Their top two lines are actually decent.
Bro, the playoffs, line 3 and 4 win the cup, not 1 and 2.
Yeah,
I think defense wins championships. Look at that blue line. Like, what the hell is that?
Dude, that's facts. Darnell Nurse can't be your best defenseman.
Plus, you look at the goaltending, man. Like, I guess Koskin's having a pretty decent year, but he's not consistent at all. He has no support.
If Edmonton plays Calgary, that'll obviously be that'll be the best first round matchup, regardless of who else plays. But I don't know. Calgary kind of has that playoff experience, so I take them. And they can also play Vancouver. Honestly, that's 50-50. That's a coin flip.
Yeah.
But if you play, I guess Arizona's kind of falling out.
Dude, I like Calgary over Edmonton and Vancouver if they're in a 7-game series. To be honest,
I do too, but I am a Flames fan, so
yeah, a bit of bias there,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Edmonton could also fall to the wild card, and if they play Vegas, I think definitely that's a loss. But if they play St. Louis, actually, St. Louis is that good. That's not they are Cup favorites at this point, probably over Washington, but
yeah, Washington's been playing not as great in the past couple of weeks.
So injuries, how do you think those are going to impact some of the teams like Kreider to the Rangers, who were in a race for the wild card spot. Losing Kreider is a pretty big L. So
yeah, I think for sure. Like, it's kind of like sucks. I could see how like a Rangers fan would like be so sad right now because there was so many rumors about getting rid of Kreider, and then they chose to keep him and extend him, and now he's just out for the season. So it's like they sort of made a decision that they're gonna push for the playoffs, and now like one of their best forwards is just out, and now they've lost 2 in a row without him, and it's I don't know. I think it's really unfortunate, and I think it will really impact the team.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the Rangers actually want to do though, because they also traded off Brady Shea, who is having kind of a down year. But
That's true.
I don't get why you signed Kreider to a long term. Like, I don't see the point in that at all. But
People were talking about the Rangers, how they like did a rebuild in literally like 2 years or whatever. I'm not sure if that's really true. I mean, they have some really good prospects in the system. I mean, Kako really hasn't churned out as well as probably people think, or Anderson. But I mean, I think the Rangers kind of are leaning towards like a rebuild, but keeping like important players. So I mean, Kreider's really that good. He's a top 20 winger. He flies under the radar, but.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, he's sick. But I don't know what they're going for. You know?
Yeah, no, it's kind of like how Minnesota has been like that indecisive team who just don't do anything for like.
I think Minnesota was kind of unlucky though. They got those Parise and Suter contracts that are kind of holding them down. It's kind of, and they're not bad players, but those contracts are just immovable, so you can't really.
Well, I don't know. Parise almost got moved.
Almost.
It I'm guessing that included like them giving up a first round pick or something. Like
yeah, because no one wants to take that. Yeah,
well, I think it was Andrew Ladd going the other way who has.
What's the point?
Yeah, I know. I don't see it. The only thing that about Minnesota, that Parise deal, the cap penalty if he ever retires is horrible. Like when he's 40, if he retires at I think it ends at 39. If he retires at 38, there's like a $19 million cap penalty. It's insane. So obviously he'll end up going on LTIR if he's not playing, which he probably won't be.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still just so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's such a cheat in the system, just going on LTIR.
Yeah.
Dude, the LTIR though, it saved the Canucks because Luongo's LTIR, they didn't get Simmons. They almost gave up Jet Wu. That was rumored. If that happened though,
we almost didn't sign Myers. So almost.
It was close.
I love Canucks Twitter going.
No, Canucks are just like Luongo coming in clutch one last time.
I think we need to talk about like the most important team in the league that everyone cares about, though, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Losing Jake Muzzin for a couple weeks now. I think it's 4 to 6 weeks. Which now the only 2 Leafs defensemen that were in the NHL last year are Dermott and Barrie, and the rest is all AHLers from last year. We got like Sandin, Marinson, Liljegren, Justin Holl, and yet they can still pull out these incredible wins against.
That's because you have a sniper, Marinson, an absolute snipe yesterday, an absolute beauty. He surprised himself too. I couldn't believe it. That was just awful defense.
Henry and I were watching the game last night, and last night Henry and I were watching the game, and I was just like hating on Marinson so bad. He's like not a great player.
Shoots the puck off the crossbar, gets his own rebound because the Canucks can't clear it out of their own zone.
A baller.
They never can.
I still think the Leafs make the playoffs though.
Oh, yeah,
obviously, for sure.
Mm-hmm. The only team really fighting for that is Florida, who's now 5 points behind the Leafs with no games in hand.
Florida is like dysfunctional. Like I don't know what's wrong with them. Like Bobrovsky sucked. Let's be honest. Like that guy sucked. He screwed me.
He's really streaky though. He has those good games every now and then.
He sucks.
Dude, goaltending is all about consistency. You can be like consistency, be like a 905 save percentage, and that's good enough. But if you're like inconsistent as fuck, like it just doesn't work. You see that all the time in the playoffs. Like Pecorine, that guy sucks.
Yeah, it's all about luck with your goalies. They got to get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
No facts. Tim Thomas.
Actually, since we're on like sort of the topic of like injuries and like how it affects the teams, like I saw earlier today, Mark Stone is ruled week to week, and Vegas is currently on like a 9-game win streak. It could be 10 depending on the game tonight. Like, how much do you think that impacts the team losing a player like Mark Stone?
That line of him, Pacioretty, and Stastny, who I hate all three of those players. Stone not as much. They're like one of the top lines in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, Vegas is so hot right now, dude. I don't even think it'll affect them too badly. Like, obviously, he's a great player, but I mean, dude, that team is so deep. They're insane. They'll be fine. And Pacific sucks, so
yeah. For the playoffs as well.
I think he's what
week to week, so he's probably back for the playoffs.
Yeah, no, week to week means like they're like being very cautious.
They're also missing Tuck.
Yeah, he's
well. Yeah.
I would have preferred Dumba too in that expansion draft, but that's old news. They made the final anyways. Doesn't matter.
First loser.
Yeah. All right. They got lucky though. Chandler Stevenson's actually like.
That guy's good. Like,
yeah,
he's so fast.
Yeah, Alec Martinez also having a better time in Vegas than he was in LA.
I mean, Martinez has the greatest, the dream goal of any player in the NHL. So that guy's living the life, and now he's in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, so now we're gonna move over to Bobby Ryan, who got his hat trick a few nights ago. His first home game back from the player assistance program. Didn't it make you guys cry?
No, but obviously I'm a Canucks fan, so watching that kind of sucked to lose the 2 points. But yeah, you know what? I'm happy for Bobby Ryan. He's sick.
Yeah, honestly, he used to be one of my favorite players when he was on the Ducks. Sick player.
Good guy. I'm happy he's doing well.
Like,
and he played a good game. So
a player like that, like he's gone through so much shit, like from fans because of obviously his cap hit, which like at the end of the day isn't really his fault that he makes a lot of money, right? Like it just feels kind of bad. Like he went through so much shit, and like now, like it said, dealing with alcohol problems. I'm like, it makes me really happy to see him come back first home game, get a hat trick in front of the fans. That was something really nice, and them all cheering him on too. That was something that was really
I was
sick.
one of those fans that was like, man, this guy sucks. He's the most overrated player in the league. And then you hear he has alcohol issues, and then you feel like an asshole. But I mean, the guy is obviously like super skilled. I mean, he may have the best playoff goal of all time. That one where he dangles 3 times a national defender.
Oh yeah.
Bro, but no, he's good, and I mean he's kind of gonna be an important piece for Ottawa. I mean they're gonna be a dynasty in 2 or 3 years, so he'll be like the mentor on that team. He's gonna be like Danny Alfredson.
Bobby Ryan for captain.
Okay.
Bobby Ryan for captain. Interesting.
I don't know about.
Interesting take,
bro. Hey, I mean he ain't moving anytime soon.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
I mean they'll probably give it to like Shabbat. Actually,
I think Shabbat.
But yeah, we're
or actually, honestly, I think Kachuk would be pretty funny.
Yeah, you never know.
He seems like a pretty stand-up guy.
Dude, they have
as the next Flames captain
3 firsts and 4 seconds in this draft.
Dude, that's crazy.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
they
like
have a potential top 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
They would be literally set if they could hit the lottery on one of those.
And it looks like a sick draft too. Like.
Yeah, no, this one's stacked. Yeah. I mean, Ottawa made a great deal for Peugeot, but I mean, they kind of got chirped last year when they gave up. Who did they give up for like absolutely nothing? Was it Duchesne? Didn't they? Ottawa. They made some bad trades like last year.
Everyone was upset with
they
DeMello.
sent Dzingel and Duchesne away to Columbus.
Yeah, and they got only 2 seconds for Dzingel, which I guess isn't that bad.
They got Duclair though in that Dzingel trade, so it's kind of not too bad.
He's been good, man. Happy with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Carolina's been winless since the deadline. Since they beat the Maple Leafs with that emergency backup, they obviously didn't acquire Robin Lehner. So who's out for their goalie? They're missing like Mrazek or something. And they have 2 AHL goalies now, and they're on a pretty bad winless streak. So how do you think it affects these guys?
Carolina and bad goaltending are like salt and pepper. Like year after year, you see this. And then they finally found good players. I mean, what Bill Peters literally came out. I mean, he also said the N-word, but regardless, he came out and he literally said Eddie Lack is awful. We can't make a No, I'm sure the diehard Carolina fans, if there are many, are watching this with heavy prayers.
Yeah.
I think it was just
it's kind of
go
it's
ahead.
a weird thing because they on deadline day they knew Mrazek and Reimer were out and were gonna be out for a while, and they will go out. They pick up Shea, they pick up Vatanen, they pick up Trocheck. If you have the assets to get all 3 of those guys, why not like maybe get 2 of them and pick up a goalie also? Like, it just seems so weird that they went for 2 defensemen and an offenseman while knowing that their starter and backup were going to be hurt.
Yeah, like I look at what Vegas gave up for Lehner. How could they have not topped the 2nd round pick? And
that was a
whatever else it was.
huge
Like they couldn't
mistake.
have given up their first for Lehner. Then who knows? Maybe even re-sign them if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they're thinking on that one. And
now
like, also Vatanen, I don't think was the answer. And I like Shea, but he's having a bad year.
Yeah,
Trocheck's awesome though.
Yeah,
Trocheck's also not having as good of a year as previous though.
I know he's screwing me on fantasy.
Yeah, like I think some people said that maybe his ankle injury or whatever it was, he might not have been fully healed, but who knows?
But the thing is, like Vancouver did, like, look, their number 1 went out, Markstrom went out, and they went and got a backup. Who, I mean, he just choke a lead. Besides the point, like it was possible to get a rental goalie. I mean,
you can get a backup for nothing. Like,
yeah, no, exactly, right. So it's like Domingue was what did they give up for?
We gave
a
up
goalie, Zane McIntyre.
Yeah, we gave up his nothing. He'll never play a game in the NHL.
Like, there you go.
I never even heard of the guy. So
Exactly.
And like now it looks like Carolina might like miss entirely. They're falling out, and like there's a lot of other teams fighting for the same spot that are still competitive. So
honestly,
I might like
2 dams if they don't make it. I don't like Carolina.
Same.
Really? I
kind
kind of
stupid storm surge. Not a fan of.
Shit, we got a Don Cherry in here. He hates it. They're jerks.
Bro, it just looks so stupid. Like
I like it.
I like it too.
I have nothing against them celebrating like the clap or something, but then they just look so stupid out there when they're like dunking basketballs on the ice. Like, man, you did your job. Go home.
It's all about that fan engagement. But I mean, yeah. I mean, like I also don't like Aho's. Everybody loves him. I don't. Man's too soft. Take a hit. Fight.
Yeah, but he's also like having an incredible year.
Do that. Not gonna make the playoffs. Who cares?
Oh, okay, true.
I don't know if you guys know who this kid is. Matthew Savoy. Do you know him?
Oh
He
yeah,
got, like, exceptional. He beat McDavid's rookie record in the OHL. Same age in 9 fewer games.
Whoa.
So
Wait, he got exceptional?
Yeah, he got exceptional.
No,
he's his first year. And
Wait, wasn't there? I thought I read there's like 4 guys who applied or something. Like Shane Wright's one of them, right?
Yeah, that's the other big name. Yeah,
Matthew Savoy. That's the kid though who
Matthew
beat
Savoy.
McDavid's OHL rookie record in 9 fewer
That's
games. It's pretty crazy. I think he's the 2022 draft. That's supposed to be a pretty good draft too.
Is he a center?
Yeah, I believe so.
I guess everyone who's good is a center down there, but yeah.
I think you're mixing the two, Ethan. I think Shane Wright's the one that plays for Kingston and broke the record.
Is he?
I think Savoy's the Alberta kid who I'm pretty sure plays in the Dub.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Shane Wright. Yeah, he was named captain earlier in the season.
Yeah, no.
What?
He was like the youngest captain.
Wow.
16-year-old captain.
Oh, there you go. He was 15 when he got named captain, though.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
And I'm pretty sure Kingston's decent, too. I think they're in a playoff spot.
66 points in 54 games, and I think McDavid was 66 in 63, so This is a
Holy
kid to look
crap.
out for in the future.
Born in 2004.
And wasn't
Oh man, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, that is right. Wasn't McDavid also playing with Connor Brown at that point? Because isn't Brown a couple years older? So like Erie was even better than like Kingston. Who's
Yeah,
like
Strome was there too, I think.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah, I'm not sure.
maybe, yeah, no, because he was exceptional. Yeah, right.
Yeah, man, what a bust.
Dylan Strome? You think Dylan Strome's a bust?
Dylan Strome.
I think everybody thinks that. No,
Yeah, he's nowhere near as good as he was supposed to be.
Well, yeah,
I like
not as good as he was supposed to be, but he's like probably third line center at best.
dude, he's a second line center for Chicago, and he's not even like he may be out of position, out of line right now. Like he's no good. It's never been good.
I just heard a lot of people saying his skating was awful, but
Yeah, it is. He's slow as hell.
I don't know if that's the issue. If it just looks like his stride is weird.
It is, isn't it?
Maybe.
And
I guess all Stromes are just not that good.
isn't there a younger
Matthew.
brother? Yeah, right. Yeah.
No, but what's his name is having a sick year in New York.
Ryan Strome?
Ryan Strome, yeah. He's kind of having a comeback.
Is it his contract year? I think it's his contract year.
I gotta get
Probably.
So is he gonna? I think the Rangers actually have a lot of free agents to re-sign. I don't even know if they're gonna be able to do all of it because they have D'Angelo as well, who's like top 10 in D scoring.
Yeah, but like people always want to go to New York, so.
All right, I have a big question though. Do you guys think the Red Wings are gonna pass the 2016-2017 Colorado Avalanche in points?
Hell no.
No.
Dude, I hope they don't. I really hope they don't.
13 points. 13 points behind. 15 games left. They have to play Tampa, Washington, Boston, St. Louis, Philly, Washington again, Vegas, Tampa again, Colorado tomorrow. So it's not looking too bright for these guys.
Hey, didn't they beat Montreal and Boston a couple times?
They beat Boston twice.
They always beat Montreal though.
That's something. That's something.
That's something. Boston also beat them again. In their most recent thing, they lost to Boston.
But dude, you never know. Like once teams are officially eliminated, like the Rangers, like people just count them out. You never know. They could sneak in one or two, but I still don't think they make it.
Players, when a team gets eliminated, players like not the star names like Larkin could give two damns, but like the bad players, the fourth liners, they start playing like this is their livelihood. This is like training camp all over again.
Yeah,
so
yeah, like
people are really
they're trying to get a contract. Like they need work.
okay, like yeah. So I mean that's like 90% of it. So those are like the guys. So I mean they could pull out a bunch, but like those teams that you named, I don't think they're gonna win a single one of those. So
they've been terrible. I think they have the worst plus minus differential since I think ever. Or in the salary cap era or something.
Minus 120.
Ever since it's been recorded.
Yeah, something like that. This is awful.
Like that's not even close to the next worst. Like it's almost triple, right? Like
almost triple.
Because Ottawa's the second worst.
And that's like respectable compared to negative.
Yzerman's just doing a dream tank job right now.
Imagine if they get fourth pick.
And I mean, it still should be pretty great, but
this draft, yeah, it won't be.
But I mean, to go through that whole year, and then as like a fan, imagine being a fan of the Red Wings. You go through that whole year, and you get to pick fourth instead of like first or second or third.
Yeah, because first is like it's almost like getting Crosby. It's like kind of getting like Patrick Kane. Like this is an important draft. Screw Jack Hughes. He ain't gonna be the next Jack Hughes. He ain't gonna be. There's zero way.
I have another question though. So San Jose, they were obviously supposed to do a lot better this year. They're not gonna make the playoffs. They sold a lot of their guys. Do you think they bounce back next year?
Nope.
No,
I don't think so either.
All depends on the player that I strongly dislike, Erik Karlsson. I mean,
they're also missing a few guys like Couture and Hurdle. They're out for a while.
Yeah,
so
but
I think
But they had them before, and they were still losing.
Yeah.
I mean, no, dude. I think it depends, like, huge on the goaltending.
Oh,
It's like one of the worst in the league, if not the worst. I mean, both those guys suck. So unless they change that up, I don't know what you do.
And like, the fact that a lot of people, like, at the beginning of the season, before the season started, had San Jose as a pick to make the playoffs. So, like, if with this current roster, they're this bad, I don't see it getting much better.
You know what I like from them, though? I like that they got a first for Barclay Goodrow. That was something else.
Steal of the year.
What the hell that was?
Literally.
Like, what was that? Like, Eric Gustafson, this guy who put up, like, what was it, like 60+ points last year, goes traded for a third.
I still don't get that. I still don't. It still makes no sense to me. I don't know why more people aren't talking about how the Flames gave away a third, and more importantly, why didn't the Leafs go for him if all you needed to give up was a third? That's what I'm most mad about.
I don't know, man. Maybe Calgary's giving them some oil money under
the rug. So, based off the deadline, who do you guys think are some of the winners and losers?
So we could go over Sportsnet's who they think was the winners and losers. Funny enough, they got Ottawa as a winner, and last year Ottawa was apparently a loser, and the year before that apparently they're a loser. So I mean, and they've been in the same situation, right, for like past couple. Oh, that's not true. They went to the playoffs, but anyways, they have Ottawa. I'm not sure. They got a lot for Pajot, and not as much for Tyler Ennis, who's pretty good.
Yeah, would they get like a fifth or something? He was on a
fifth,
like 30 points this year.
Yeah,
and they like on a fifth. He's on Edmonton's top line. Yeah, great move.
In a fourth for Nemestikov. Nemestikov, like last year during like the early months, was like he was top 3 in points.
Yeah, a lot of the Ottawa fans hated those trades. Same with DeMello. Yeah. They blundered a lot of it. I think they only really got value for
that Pajot deal was. They got a lot back.
They did, but the Islanders also got to re-sign him. So.
But I mean, I don't know. They paid a lot for him. Like I think Pajot's sick, but I mean, what, $5 million over 6 years? That's a lot, man.
All right, who else is a winner from
Edmonton?
Edmonton,
I think. Like,
they have.
I think adding, like, obviously they didn't pick up like a star, but like getting Athanasiou and Ennis, and also adding Mike Green, who's got hurt, but like still. I think picking up these players like just added a lot of depth, which, like we talked about earlier, you need depth if you want to make it far in the playoffs. So like adding, Athanasiou as like a second liner potentially, and this is a third or fourth liner, like bottom 6 guy. I think that's really helpful for their potential playoff run. So I think they did a great job at the deadline.
Yeah, Athanasiou is a good pickup. I think, what did Detroit get? 2 seconds for him?
2 seconds and Gagne.
Dude, I feel bad for Gagne. This guy keeps bouncing around. Finally, Edmonton's doing well, and he gets kicked to Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
that's tough.
Yeah, no, that must really suck. It's like the opposite of like other players, like Brandon Dillon. He must be so happy. Same with Martinez.
Yeah.
Terrible organizations. Another winner. Funny enough, they have the Hurricanes, which we already kind of talked about, so we could skip that.
Yeah, we talked about how that like backfired, sort of.
We have the Knights as a winner, and obviously that
those are great moves.
Yeah,
Martinez is a great pickup.
Martinez and Leonard
really well.
Huge.
What do you guys think with that Leonard trade? They just doing that because Fleury's,
Fleury's been carrying them for so long. Subban was awful, so.
Yeah, they just need to give Fleury a rest.
Yeah,
right?
It's the rest. It's gonna be good for playoffs.
Yeah,
I think actually a winner. I think the Kings didn't do too bad either for their rebuild. They got Tyler Madden, who's supposed to be sick.
Yeah, I thought that was a good pickup, but and they got a second from Vegas and from Vancouver. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, not too bad for these guys.
Now off to the losers. They have Florida, and I think we can all agree because they traded Trocheck, who's like a very solid player.
Like, this is a team trying to make the playoffs, and to trade not only away Trocheck, but they also made a trade with the Leafs on deadline day, I think. And it's like, you're fighting for the same spot. Why are you making a trade with the Leafs? And like, I think the Leafs got Dennis Mulligan, who's currently in the NHL, and I think the Leafs gave away someone who's not in the NHL. So the Florida Panthers like took in an AHLer, so that like the Leafs can add to their depth.
10 years ago, you would never see divisional trades. Like I swear, Because it used to be a thing where the Canucks like they had like so many roster moves with Florida, and now you see it all the time. I mean, Ottawa and Toronto do all kinds of trading. It's kind of
I think a few years ago the Rangers and Devils made their first trade ever or something.
Yeah, exactly. Right, it's like changing.
But yeah, it's like I for like small deals like the Maligan thing, I don't think it's like that bad, but yeah, you see a lot more bigger deals now. It's kind of surprising.
Mm-hmm.
I know Florida's an obvious. They also have the Canucks, not because they didn't do anything bad. They just didn't do anything. But they did get Toffoli, which was a good trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that when I first heard it, but I get it now, and I'm very glad we didn't do anything on deadline day.
There's a lot of rumors
good,
for like Barry and Simmons and stuff.
Yeah, I'm
giving
so
up
happy
a lot of those assets would have been pretty detrimental, to be honest.
Yeah, the Canucks already don't have a first or second this year, so.
Wayne the Train. This guy has gone unlucky in his career. He was very good at one point, never really got paid for it, and then this year he's like, I want to get traded to a playoff contender. What the heck was that?
Yo, dude, Buffalo's another team that I feel like they thought they could try to push for a playoff spot at the end of the year, but now they're just so far out. I think they're like 12 points out of the playoffs, like lost 3 in a row.
What do you guys think of that? Because Eichel looks extremely frustrated after every single game. Do you think at some point, if they miss the playoffs next year, do you think he asks for a trade?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he has any loyalty to Buffalo, to be honest. And I think he's just pissed that he's got so much potential as a player. Second pick after McDavid. I think he's really frustrated. And he has kind of a right to be. The team around him isn't great, and it hasn't been great. And they keep going on these streaks at the beginning of the year, giving him hope, and then just falling apart every season. So
and if they basketball, get the fuck out of here, dude. The players aren't gonna demand trades. He's too young for that.
Yeah, I don't think even if he demanded one, I don't think he gets one.
Yeah, I don't think he gets one.
He signed there.
You have to think about what a team would also have to give up for him, because you'd be sacrificing a lot just to get him. You don't even know if it would make your team better. When you do get him because of what you gave up for him. So
he plays such a role that the number one center, where it's that only team that really comes to mind is Montreal, right? And it's I get some other.
It's also the captain.
Yeah.
Not sure about their future though, but Dahlin's a pretty bright spot. So.
Dahlin's fact. So, what's your guys' thoughts on the Leafs during trade deadline? Because Twitter, the Leafs are in they have high tension right now.
Dude, a lot of people were really mad at Kyle Dubas for not doing anything. They were like, "Oh, what an idiot! He didn't even trade Tyson Barrie," and it's I don't think he would have gotten much for Barrie, to be honest with you. And also the fact that he didn't make any moves has so far looked to be the right choice. I think the Leafs fan base was in a really heated spot after they lost to, David Ayres, which rightfully so. And I saw a post on Leafs Reddit saying the players owe the fans an apology or something, which is ridiculous, but whatever. But since deadline, they've beaten Tampa, Florida, Vancouver. So and Barrie has 4 points in 3 games. So I think Kyle Dubas, if there's anything you can say about him, is that he sticks to his own plan. He wanted to bring in Muzzin, now he's extended Muzzin. He wanted to bring in Barrie, so he didn't trade away Barrie. And whether it works out for the better or worse, that is one thing I'll attribute Kyle Dubas to. And I do think, if we want to start talking about the playoff picture, I do think that the Leafs, I don't want to jinx it, I think the Leafs will take that 3rd spot, not Florida. So I think they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think it's good that he isn't so reactive just based off one loss.
Exactly, of course. Yeah. Unlike the fans.
Yeah. Everyone's calling for his head after every loss. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I swear, because Leafs are a bunch of they all think John Cherry. They see this new young kid and they're like, Kyle Dumbass. Like Barry's better than when he's playing, so like you don't want to sell him when he's not.
Yeah, his stats also went up a lot when Sheldon Keefe came in. Like he was having he had like something like 4 points in 20 games with Babcock or something really terrible like that, and it just like spiked up when Sheldon Keefe showed up.
I mean, his defensive game I think has always kind of been a point of interest, but
yeah.
New era defenseman. You see it with so many players, like there's so many who just aren't defensively minded. Even the new guys, like I'm not sure. Like I guess Hughes and Makar are both very, very solid. That's actually a good topic. Who's gonna win that Calder?
Right. That's interesting. I think
I think earlier I would have said Makar, but I kind of lean towards Hughes now, just because I think Hughes has like so much more responsibility on the team. Like he's relied upon for everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think Colorado's better than Vancouver all around. So I'd lean towards Hughes, but they're both great players. I mean,
yeah, I think Hughes is, if he continues with this point pace, I think he's kind of a lock for the Calder.
I disagree. I think Makar, like purely just based off of the standings, like Colorado went from last year being the second wild card in the West, which sucks, and now they're fighting for the title, the Western Conference title. So I mean, just based off
very true.
And he's phenomenal in the playoffs, so it's obviously like he does make an impact every game. You hear his name all the time. He has the puck like on his stick like more than like any defenseman.
Yeah, he's a number one D-man already.
Yeah, exactly. So they're both solid though. Hughes is too.
Yeah.
I guess while we're talking about D-men, do you guys think John Carlson's a lock for the Norris?
Yeah.
72 points, 12-point lead on Roman Yossi.
Yeah.
He's cooled off a bit, but he's still got that huge lead. So
point total is like ridiculous, and like you see Burns win it all the time, right? With Burns is questionable lead defensively, where he wins purely off his offensive capabilities. So
yeah, it kind of sucks. They always judge the Norris just off points, but I mean, when you have so many, it gets to a point where it's kind of tough to justify like offense versus D, but.
They did give it to Giordano last year. I think it was very deserving, Calgary fan, but but he did have like great offensive numbers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I think one of the last things we should talk about is like the tight playoff race, both in the East and West for those wild cards. Because in the wild card spots for the East, I think like the Islanders, Columbus, Carolina, and Rangers, any two of those four could grab it. And in the West, it's like Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Nashville, Winnipeg, Arizona, Minnesota, like all of them. That's like 7 teams, only separated by 5 points. So if you guys had to like make a prediction, maybe any bold predictions, who's like definitely gonna miss, who's definitely gonna make it out of the teams I mentioned, who would you guys pick?
For the Pacific number 2 spot, I honestly think, I kind of feel like Calgary is gonna get it, just somehow. I feel like Calgary and Edmonton is gonna make those 2 spots, and then it's gonna be Vancouver and it's gonna be Winnipeg, so Nashville's out.
Yeah, that would be really great in my opinion, because then we'd have 4 Canadian teams in the West, and that would be like really sick.
Awesome, because I guess only one's going to be in the East.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be Vegas will get that top spot. Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, I think will make it, and then I actually think Nashville will. I think it's kind of, I mean, if Nashville doesn't make it, man, they're going to probably make some really
I think it's just going to be Nashville.
Trades.
Based off of the games, like they have 3 games in hand on Winnipeg. I think it's just going to be based off that. Unless they just completely have a breakdown or something.
Minnesota really is in this race, man. They have 3 games on hand.
I was so certain they were going to be terrible.
And they're on a 3-game win streak.
Because they're just irrelevant. No one likes them.
And speaking of Arizona, though. I was going to say, like Nashville, if they miss, it's going to be perceived as a huge failure. Same with Arizona, going out of their way to pick up Hall and still having so much scoring problems. Like can't score goals to save themselves.
Yeah, I think him and Kessel have both kind of been like just a tad disappointed, especially Kessel.
I have to give Arizona one thing is they have been hurt goaltending wise a lot, but it's still like it's not really an excuse after a certain point.
Goaltending's never been the issue. All their games they lose like 2-1, 3-1, 1-0. It's like they can't score. Like
they got OEL on the back end. Who's like OEL should probably get like Norris. Like he should definitely get some points in voting. Like if they make the playoffs, especially. But,
I agree with that.
Yeah, he takes on a lot.
They're scoring. I mean, they had so many rookies who are like okay-ish. Like Clayton Keller, like he was talked about in the Calder race, and now.
Yeah, we don't know what the fuck's going on there. Connor Garland's pretty decent. Their depth actually like, it's not bad. They have Derek Stepan as their 3C. I guess Barrett Hayton isn't really ready or something.
Not is he? Yeah, he's great at the World Juniors, but
yeah.
Jacob Chikrin too. This dude's always hurt.
Oh yeah.
What is?
Guy's a bust.
I swear, like since the day he's been drafted.
I wouldn't say bust.
Dude, wasn't he 6th overall?
16.
Dude,
isn't that the draft?
They did trade up to get him though.
That was the 2016 draft.
Oh, never mind. So it's the really good one.
26 points in 63 games. He's hurt. I didn't even know he was playing. I thought he was just hurt the entire year. Like, dude's always out.
Robbie Fabry. Him and Robbie Fabry.
You know who's sick though? Robert Thomas. Holy shit! This dude has he after winning the cup. His points are crazy.
Because him and Jordan Cairo or Kuru, however you pronounce it, they're both they're like the rookies, and I'm pretty sure most people had Cairo as the better one. But...
Dude, the absolute mistake from Buffalo for not getting Robert Thomas in that O'Reilly deal. Who'd they get? They got
Tage Thompson.
Oh man. awful. Props to St. Louis for like not trading Robert Thompson. Tage Thompson is just...
Because that was the thing, right?
They were like, we want Robert Thomas. Like, no. Okay, we'll settle for Tage Thompson. The names are similar anyways. Kid sucks, dude. What the fuck?
Tage Thompson is one of those players, like kind of like Samuel Girard, where it's like, I don't know why they made the team when they were like 18 years old. It's like
Casey Middlestat too, dude. Buffalo, what's with that management?
Oh,
rushing their players.
Bryce called that. Everybody thought Casey Middlestat was gonna be nuts, but
I wanted him over PD too. That's the thing. Thank God I'm not a GM, bro. I remember too. I was like, I wanted Gabe Berlardi. Dude was hurt the entire year.
I mean, most other GMs wanted Velarde over Pete too.
Yeah.
So you're not that far off.
Canucks just have really good scouts, though. I think, anyone who's in their position.
Demote Benning to head scout.
Who's gonna move to GM?
I don't know. Fucking
Mike Gillis.
It's literally anybody.
Mike Gillis? You don't want that clown back. You don't want that clown. He was in talks to join I think New Jersey.
Yeah. Big mistake.
Dude, that's the funniest headline.
I saw a New Jersey fan was like, I just want us to hit on all of our draft picks. They're like, well, Mike Gillis is not your guy then.
They should get Brian Burke.
For real. Oh man, I love Berkey.
For times it's high. I hate all sports that made him do that.
What about the Eastern race, guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's 5 teams. Actually 6 teams. Toronto Islanders, Columbus, Carolina, Rangers, and Florida within 5 points of each other. And so by the playoff system, which I think is stupid, either Toronto or Florida has to make it, because they're an Atlantic team. So between those 4 Metro teams, I think 2 of those 4 are going to grab the wild card spots. Which 2 would you think? I would personally say, I think how it is right now, Islanders Columbus is probably how it's going to stay. But Rangers are still playing pretty well.
Yeah, Panarin's carrying that, and so is Shesterkin.
Yeah,
this kid's nuts.
Yeah.
He's 9-1-0. He's got .94 save percentage. This dude doesn't want them to fail.
They sat the king for the first time.
Yeah, dude, the health bomb.
I felt so bad, man.
Dude, everybody wanted him to get traded, but it's like, no, he just sucks.
What, did they show him in the press box or something? Just sitting there looking all sad, watching the game.
oh, that's so sad. But like,
That's who
do you
Carolina
think
should have traded for.
Yeah. Do you think with the fact that they're not going to have either their goalies for a few more weeks, I think is what they reported. Do you think they have any chance of grabbing those spots? Because they've been playing like not well at all since the goalies got hurt.
They have a 3-game. No. They have a 3 games in hand on Columbus, tied with the Islanders in games. But I think
gotta win those games.
You got to. But I think Columbus is gonna fall out. They're missing Seth Jones, who's a huge piece.
Yeah, but they took a big dub tonight over the Vancouver.
Yeah, dude. Tortorella is such a sick coach.
Dude, he should win Jack Adams. Like the fact that
the team got so stripped.
Like absolutely, and he called everybody out, and then he called out and he even called out the refs. But the NHL hates him. I doubt they'd ever give it to him.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Yeah, Torts is a hero. Columbus is gonna make it. I think the Islanders will. Florida's out. They suck.
That's unlucky. They have.
I mean, you put a team in Carolina, you ain't making it. And the Rangers. I mean, the only way they make it is if the goaltending stays amazing and Panarin lights it up. But
Panarin's still been solid all year long. Zibanejad,
he's
pretty decent.
Awesome.
But they also lost Kreider, so it's kind of it's pretty big loss.
I agree with all of y'all. We're bipartisan. But I think Columbus and the Islanders are going to flip-flop for 1 and 2. And I also say that I do hate Carolina, but I mean they really could make it. Let's not kid ourselves. They're probably more likely to than Columbus. I mean, they have that. I mean, they made it to the damn 3rd round last year, right? They upset the defending champ.
I wonder what percentage it is of 3rd round qualifiers to miss the next year.
Yeah,
because
Arizona,
I know
pretty
it's
rare.
Isn't it Cup winners? There's only one who hasn't made it the next year, something like that.
I'm pretty sure LA missed the year after they won.
Yeah, it's a really low number, but I'm sure as you go farther down, it gets higher. But top 4, that's pretty embarrassing.
That is, and plus, like they were good in the season as well, right? Oh no, I guess they weren't. They also just got wild card. Because what you usually see is like the teams that follow the spot the year before they're like 8 or 7, and then I guess we don't use that system, but like I guess last year they're also that way. So they follow the trend.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think this is a good place to end it.
Yeah, great first episode, guys.
If you guys have any other feedback to put in the comments for what you guys would want to hear us talk about, feel free to comment it down below. Do you guys have anything to say?
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. The
link in the description below.
Yeah.
Yep. YouTube.
Because we don't know the on the top of our head.
I'm paid to remember that shit.
But PondCast, Instagram, Twitter, good shit over there.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you guys so much for listening.